Hey everybody, this is Daniel here. Today I want to talk about quite a timely topic, and it's how can you best market your venue moving into more of a recessionary time. Moving into 2023, we might already be in a bit of a recession. We might be heading into more of a recession. I'm not going to be the expert on that subject, but this is what a lot of people are saying out there, and it may or may not be true. But either way, I want to talk about some principles or strategies that you can use to market your venue, whether it's a bar, restaurant, brewery, distillery, wedding venue, event space, whatever type of venue you have. I want to give you some practical strategies that you can use to help market yourself and sustain your cash flow moving forward. So the first thing I want to bring up is advertising, okay? Usually, the most common approach that businesses tend to take, especially small businesses, is once they get into some financial strife, the first thing that they're going to cut is marketing, because it's seen as something in which costs money and doesn't really provide much result. But the problem is, if your marketing is profitable, it is probably going to be the last thing that you're going to cut, because why would you cut the one thing that generates you revenue? But with that being said, advertising costs actually decrease moving into recessionary periods. Why is that? I'm talking about digital advertising costs, and the reason is social media ads work off an auction system, okay? So naturally, if you have less people at the auction, there is less demand, so prices are actually cheaper on average. So that is really the basis of social media advertising, whether it's TikTok, Google, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever type of advertising that you're doing online, it will get cheaper as there are less people competing for those eyeballs or that attention. I don't think the attention would ever decrease, so the supply of advertising space will remain the same, just demand for that space will decrease, hence it'll get cheaper. Second point I want to talk about is being more aggressive in the way that you use the assets that you've already got. For example, your lists or your databases that you may have built. So if you've been in business for a while, you probably have a list of people that you've done business with before, whether it's a list of name and email, or name, email, and phone number, or maybe Facebook Messenger conversations or Instagram conversations. These are all centralized places that you have previous interactions where you have people who have previously interacted with your business. So you can actually use this as a channel that you can re-engage with prospects with over the long term. As a general rule, most venues that we've seen, they have a database, but they just don't really know how to use it. And so it's just sort of sitting there, and they've been told, hey, it's a good thing to have a database, because if you got an email list, maybe you can make some money from it. But in truth, most people don't know how to do it. But what you can do is really dive into that database and start manually reaching out to people on that list who you might see the highest potential of doing business with. So these will be potentially companies which have had events with you in the past, maybe people that you know own local businesses, maybe people that have had events with you in the past and just seeing what their plans are for moving into 2023, because if they were planning an event, you can do some really good deals for them, okay? So just reaching out to your database manually and actually using the lists that you've built is an action that you can take that will generate revenue. And if you're in recessionary times and you don't know what to do, that's one thing that you can start doing. Thirdly, you can make your sales process more high touch. As a general rule, if you want to close a deal, you have to build rapport with that prospect. And if you have lots of leads and lots of inquiries that you're dealing with, you are going to close, deals based on the rapport that you've built on average. But if you really double down and treat each prospect with a bit more care and diligence, you'll actually build more rapport with more of those prospects. And naturally, building more rapport is going to mean that you're going to get more deals across the line. The trade-off, however, is it's going to take more time. But doubling down and building a more robust, more high-touch sales process ultimately will lead you to more revenue in the long run. Cool, so those are 3 practical tips that you can use to help slightly recession-proof your business moving into 2023 if we are going to go into a recessionary period. So just to recap, double down on advertising, because there's going to be less people advertising and you're going to get more reach. Secondly, start using the databases and marketing assets that you already have at your disposal. Use them more diligently, because there will be a lot of low-hanging fruit sitting in those databases. Thirdly, double down on your sales process, make it more high touch, because that way you're going to be able to squeeze more juice out of the lead flow that you are getting, and it will lead you to more closed deals. So I hope this made sense to some of you guys out there. If you have any questions, just leave them below. Also would really appreciate a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for more content if you like this type of thing. Whether you're a restaurant, bar, brewery, or venue looking to grow the number of private events you do, this will be the place for you. So thank you for your time, guys. Depending on when you're watching this, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.